All right. For how long have you been an activist in the realm of open carry?
4 years.
How did you become involved in this?
I almost got robbed while fishing.
I think I read some about it. Some men asked you for dinero pronto, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
They were definitely Spanish, and my Spanish isn't the greatest, but I knew what dinero was, and I knew what fast was, or pronto.
All right.
And I knew what they were asking for.
So did you went out and got a gun after that, I take it?
No, my gun was in the car.
You already had a gun.
My gun, I had known about the law. I was just scared to actually express that until your life, or I won't even say my life was almost threatened. I just didn't know what was going to happen. You never know what's going to happen when you're faced with people that are willing to take your property or your life.
Where were you fishing when that occurred?
I was fishing underneath a bridge in Fort Pierce, and it was roughly about 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
It's a dangerous time to be out by yourself, right?
In Fort Pierce is one of the top, I'd say, I think top 5 for crimes in the state of Florida. And yes, it is the area is it's a fishing area, but late at night, things change.
Sure. So from that point on, did you open carry when you were fishing?
Every day, every time I go fishing, from that day forward, I've always had a gun concealed or openly carried.
You have a concealed weapons permit?
Yes, I do.
And for how long have you had that?
The crazy thing is after the Miami incident, I received my concealed weapons permit.
The Miami Beach incident?
Correct.
Which was a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. I received this on 6/25/2018, and the incident in Miami was 6/14/2018.
So if you have a concealed weapons permit, why do you open carry when you fish?
To express to people that they have the right. Not everybody has a government permission slip like I didn't have when I was approached, when I was almost robbed.
Do you open carry to exhibit deterrence to people that might want to harm you, or is it a matter of a First Amendment expression?
It's a Second Amendment expression, and it is something to, when people see firearms, they don't run to that person with a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
Guns do deter criminals.
Have you been an avid fisherman your whole life?
Yes.
You have numerous fishing licenses and permits?
Yes. I fished on it's called the IFA kayak tour. I fished that kayak tour for almost 2 years. It's a professional kayak tour, if you will. And I've been fishing since I was roughly about 8 years old.
And when you go fishing now, do you typically do that with a GoPro on your head?
I typically carry a GoPro everywhere I go now.
Why?
To document anything and everything that I go out and do, whether it be fishing, government accountability, hanging out with my daughter, hanging out with the family. It's just documenting my life.
All right. From watching your videos and reading posts about you and interviews with you, I take it is your belief that as long as in Florida, if someone is fishing, they can open carry a gun, right?
Correct.
Right. So if someone has a little Ronco pocket fisherman in their back pocket and they're walking through suburbia and Weston or Palm Beach Gardens and they want to throw that pocket fisherman into a lake on a golf course, they can open carry, right?
Private property is different. With most of I'd almost say 95% of all my videos, I'm in a public area or public space. There are times that I've walked into places that say no fishing, and the second I see a no fishing sign, I turn around and I walk away. Because by law, I would actually technically, I would be breaking a law with a firearm and trespassing, which is a felony in the state of Florida.
Do you believe that you have to be doing any level of fishing in order to be able to carry a firearm, or any type of fishing?
Doesn't matter. You can go crabbing. You can go with a fish in a hand, a rod and reel. There are numerous levels of fishing that are covered in the fishing regulations of Florida.
So is it it's your interpretation of law that if I just have a net to throw into a lake and catch a fish, as long as I'm on public property, I can carry a firearm while I do that?
Long as that net is not prohibited, like freshwater is completely different than saltwater. To throw a net into freshwater, which I kind of understand some of those laws, netting in freshwater is more illegal than it is in saltwater. Saltwater allows you to do, once again, long as you know the regulations of fishing, which I know most of the regulations of fishing on both sides of fresh and salt. So long as I'm following the regulations of where I'm going and how I go, then yes, I can, doesn't matter. I can walk from this spot right now all the way to Tallahassee, and nobody can stop me.
So it'd be your interpretation of law, we're in downtown Miami now, that if, as long as you had some fishing equipment on you, even a pocket fisherman, that if you were going to go cast it over in Biscayne Bay a few blocks from here, that you could walk down the street with an AR-15 strapped to your shoulder, right?
100%.
That's your interpretation of law?
Going to and returning from.